Theo's like, nah, just kidding. I don't want to be mayor, actually. Make it
But yes,
funnier.
absolutely I do.
Go, my noble steed!
The ship doesn't swerve when it sees how big the iceberg is.
I like big plants, and I cannot lie. And I think I need to go back to... Wait! Wait, what? Are you ready for some top secret horse-based intel? There's a food that horses just love. It's... carrots. I think you were supposed to do that! Oh, what? Sir? Delicious. Giva, what are you doing? Alright, I think you're being taken off of chicken feeding duty, darling. Ring if... Oh, goodbye. Goodbye! I have to go, my people need me. Ooh, you're getting a bench for your gardening tools today? That sounds lovely. I have not been a very good gardener this summer. We got flowers for the front porch, and they have not been watered daily, so some of them are less than happy at the moment. In my defense, our spigot is broken, and I'm hoping that we can get that fixed up this summer. Hi, everyone. I hope you are ready, because we're gonna do a little Discord draw-along. Now, I am in the Discord at the moment, and I'm also going to go live in the Discord at the moment. So you should be able to see it either on Twitch or in Discord. And again, if you would like to join in the voice chat, you are more than welcome to, but you will be talking to Twitch as well. Oh, a cobbler in the oven sounds really good. So I figured, I described what to do with the carbon paper, but I will still showcase it. So this is my ready-to-go postcard. I have it in the pinned message, but in case you have not seen it yet, these stained glass Breath of the Wild portraits are original artwork by Sarcastic Sketches on Tumblr. So, we've got carbon paper that was mailed out to the participants. You can see that there's one side that's really dark, and then there's one side that's kind of grayish. The dark side is the carbon side. That side is going to touch your postcard or surface or whatever. So on the back side then, the not dark side, you are going to tape your reference picture. I'm gonna get some music going too. I don't know that the music is going to come across in Discord though. Just a fair warning. Hi, Windu! We're doing a draw along today. Also, that's an amazing Starbits roll, my friend. So, yeah, to members of the Discord, we sent out a reference picture of Mifa, not Urbosa, and carbon black paper, and a blank postcard. Hi, Fudge! How goes the queso making? The week's been pretty good. I can't complain. Oh, you'll have to scrap this batch and get some evaporated milk. Is it too sweet? This is my canvas. I'm just showcasing how to use the carbon paper for anyone who received it and does not know how to use it. Carbon black paper has kind of changed a lot of my traditional... Ooh, we're getting a custom early bloomers pin. Hi, Mom. You're taping the carbon paper to the postcard? No. No. I'm taping the reference picture to the back side of the carbon paper. You can see the difference in the sides here if you look at it closely. One is very black and one is kind of like transparent. Wow, she wants her Mondria pin right now! Let me get on that. Ooh, 151 times! That's as many, original Pokemon. You're just saving a place for it? That's fair. Rebrand. Ooh, you're heading back out into the busyness that is con stuff. Which convention are you preparing for? Either way, best of luck. Enjoy your work.
Bye-bye.
Hi, Disso. Hi, Toasty. Flip Studio. Nah, it's not my best. It's like Momdria, but from the side. Oh, you're at San Diego Comic-Con. Wow, that's exciting. I hope you have the best time. I look forward to seeing as many pictures as possible in the Discord. Welcome in, Toasty. Welcome in, Disho. Hopefully you can hear me well enough over the music. You know what we're gonna do for today? I think we're just gonna, let me do something different. Because I don't have room on my desk right now for my art tablet. This is my mouse. Select, invert, erase. Oh, is that not invert? What's going on? Invert? Oh, it's only the one layer. I see. Select. Invert. You are driving me nuts. Alright, that's good enough. Save as. And now... You went to the Beyond Van Gogh exhibit here yesterday and it was so good. Wow. Where's that at? There we go. It's been traveling all over the country, but it's in Fort Wayne right now. Wow, that's exciting. So anyway, back to our instructions. Carbon paper, reference picture, tape, you can see that there's a dark, solid side of the carbon paper. You're going to tape your reference on the other side. The dark, solid side needs to contact your surface. Now, you might want to cut it to match the size exactly so that you don't have too much excess. That's up to you. That's what I'm doing right now. Did yours earlier? Yeah, I've learned my lesson about taping it, because sometimes if you don't and your hand moves, like, at all, it will, whatchamacallit, like, your reference image will move, shift slightly. Yeah, I've had that happen before, and that's the downside to doing carbon paper, is that it does not erase, like, easily. If you have a white Posca pen, you could kind of cover it up, but some of it might kind of, for lack of better phrasing, it might kind of come out in the wash, so to speak. Because we're going to be using some darker colors. Hi, Bill! Oh, excuse me. Didn't even realize it was erasable. It's not really. You might have to fight it. It depends on how much pressure you put on it. Well, Fudge, once the Discord draw-along is done, I'll be happy to run to the store and get some evaporated milk. We were trying to make our own queso. Yeah, and Disho, that's actually one of the reasons why I really like the stained glass art style here. I like the stained glass look because it's forgiving like that. You can go over the outlines, you can make them darker, etc. Now, to speed things along, because this is not the picture we're doing today, I'm showing you my process for the carbon black paper. Now what you do is you grab a pen and you outline it. You basically trace it. And because the carbon paper is in there and it is touching your surface, it's going to transfer the outlines, and you will end up with something like this. Now you can see, if you look closely, this is what happens when you push your finger down too hard, like if you're trying to hold it in place, you can end up with a little smudge. And you can see it's not perfect. There's a couple of spots where it got a little wonky, or like here it shifted a little bit. It happens. It is an art form in and of itself. But that's not what we're here for today. We're here to have a good time, and you're here to draw along with me if you'd like. Now, of course, you don't have to use the carbon paper. You can use pencil. You can try your best to just kind of look at it and compare it that way. And I think that's a pretty great way to do it. But it depends on where your comfort level lies as an artiste. You just realized the line you missed. Yeah, that is the one thing that I do as well. But the good news is that you can go and just draw that line with pencil. You don't have to use the carbon paper. You can draw the line with pencil. So you can see I have the reference picture on the screen. I don't have my printed out version at the moment. So what I'd like to do is test some of my colors and see which one I feel matches Mifa the best. And now, if you didn't get your supplies in time, or if you didn't sign up for supplies this time around, am I using Sharpies? Yes, I am. These are my pink and red Sharpies. These are my blue, purple, and green Sharpies. I did promise I was gonna show off my absurd Sharpie collection on stream, so thank you all for being here to look at them all. Thank you again, Momdria. You've got some Cali art markers that Toasty got recently. I have a few Copic markers that I like. I kind of like the middle shade the best. Now, they look very similar. I will not disagree with that. I like to have a scrap paper to kind of do color swatches on. So now you can color along with me. If you don't have supplies now, but you're curious about this process, the VOD will go up on YouTube, and you are more than welcome to follow along. Now you can see I'm kind of texturizing a little bit here by doing some circular motion. But you don't have to do that. And here, you can't really because there's water in the way. Thank you for the follow, Amba. Let me know if there's another name that you'd prefer that I call you. Welcome on in. You're doing some Sharpie art. Now her brow is red and her forehead is also red, but I might do a slightly lighter pink for those. Do not be afraid to rotate. I don't think the carbon, like, print will smudge much, but it is something to just be wary of. It does look like my Sharpies are picking up a little bit of it. You can see that black line? That was on my marker tip. It's faint, so it's not a huge deal, but it's there. Making some progress. Oh, you've got her head traced. Very nice. Well done, Catrium. That was a very powerful boo indeed. You can use those beans to buy yourself a little bean juice as a treat. Sorry, Disser, there's only one boo. Boo. I do wish that I could Mix It Up make the boo disappear, but alas. I do find it very tough when you are using the tracing paper to not, like, keep pulling it up to sneak a little peek at how it's going, but unfortunately that's usually how it gets messed up. So you have to kind of resist that urge to steal a glance. Trying to decide if you want to do the same colors or switch it up, and that's part of the fun. Especially with the stained glass background, like, you can do whatever colors you want. I'm seeing some little lines I missed in, like, she has a little bit of red coming down her fin like this. Sorry, webcam. Now I have this lighter pink marker, so I'm going to attempt to do some of the detail work. Digging the music. This is the Core Keeper soundtrack. I'm obsessed. Now the hard part here is going to be, I have a fine tip that I have to use to go around what I just did that's lighter colored. Now, one thing I should check. So it does bleed through the postcard a tiny bit, but so far the postcard material has been very good for Sharpies. I have found that regular paper, if you're trying to be really precise with a normal tipped Sharpie, which is considered fine point, this is considered ultra fine point. If you are using the fine point on a regular piece of paper like this, I find that it bleeds and spreads from like the line that you put down. Whereas on cardstock, or even this postcard, it's not bleeding. It's showing through a tiny bit, but it is not bleeding. And that's very important to me. I have, with all of my experience with Sharpie art. And Urbosa actually was second place in the vote, so she might win next time when we do this either in August or September. Your markers are bleeding through. It happens. Are your markers alcohol-based as well? I believe so. I'm pretty sure regular Copic markers are alcohol-based. Toasty said they are. I believe Toasty. I believe you too, for what it's worth. Now, so as you can see, my fine tip marker did not make that teardrop shape very sharp, but what I'm gonna do is go in with the ultra fine tip and kind of like sharpen it up. So now, it's looking pretty sharp. Like, the top is really pointed. I like the micro, or the ultra fine tip like this, but they don't make every color in these, so I'm very limited. I've had to learn how to get decent precision out of the regular fine tip. Hi, Desi. Welcome to the Discord draw-along. We're drawing this really cool stained glass portrait of Mifa by Sarcastic Sketches on Tumblr. Ooh, nice Starbits roll. To you too, Disso. Very nice roll. I think I'm gonna switch to an actual red for her legs, just to, again, give a little bit of variety of color as we make our way down. I like that. And now, if you are working on a desk or another surface, highly recommend putting down a piece of paper when you get near the edge. That way you don't have to worry. I can't wait to see everyone's finished products in the Discord. How's your cobbler looking, Catrium? Might be cool enough to cut, but you gotta finish the tracing. I understand completely. Tracing is one of the steps that it's very hard to interrupt and come back to. I'm gonna switch back to the pink that I put away like a silly head. Oops. Nope, that's the wrong color. Glad I tested it. I usually do. Catrium says, part of my issue is that I'm old and my eyes don't work, so I have to take off my glasses wherever I get close to trace. Yup. Yup. I'm here trying not to, like, right up to my eyes, and then you can't see what I'm doing. Nope, that was almost the wrong spot. Now, I missed the little heart inside of her hand cuffs. Whatever you call these, the little heart should be colored. So I am glad I have my ultra fine tip. Also, her hands. Those do in fact need to be colored. This might be too dark. We're gonna find out. I feel like that could work for some of the silvery parts. Now this is a Copic marker? I'm not sure. Captions liked it either way. Yep, I do like this. I have a darker gray, which I knew would be too dark, and I have a silver, but it is not as fine. So it's harder to get in there. You know what I mean? You think you're done with the tracing? Yeah, carbon paper changed a lot of the way I do art. I mainly bought it for wood burning. And if you ever feel bad about tracing, here's what I will say to you. Obviously, I'm not taking this person Sarcastic Sketches design and trying to sell it or make any money off of it. But have you ever seen the people who do wood burning? They will either, like, use a projector to trace their stuff, or they will use carbon paper. The people who do cookie decoration, they're constantly using projectors and just tracing the words. Tracing has value in art. It really does. Now, I also think that it's important to be able to start building those freehand skills. But I will not shun tracing. Again, as long as you are not trying to make any money off of using someone else's artwork or design, I will not shun tracing. You can attest right now that tracing is a skill. It absolutely is its own skill. Absolutely, it is. And I will also reiterate that if this looks fun to you, like the idea of drawing along with the stream, we will be doing this again, and it's absolutely free. I will mail you supplies. You just have to be a Discord member. Not like a Discord subscriber or anything, just a member. I don't think I have the CGRH set up for Discord subscribers. Because there's kind of too many of us, like, stream members in there to try to figure that out. You did some touch-ups, and exactly, like, that's kind of what the carbon paper is for, is to get your basic stuff down. I always end up missing some lines. taking a break from coloring to go over the lines. That's also fair. What's cool about this, in my opinion, is that you get to see my process, and then you get to kind of figure out what parts of it you like and what parts of it you want to try a different way, and I'm not going to tell you that there's a right or wrong way to do this. I wish I had an even lighter gray than that, but I do not. The cobbler is amazing. I'm patting myself on the back. I am jealous. Apples from your own yard? Excuse me, Catrium? Excuse me? Yeesh. Impressive. So now what I'm trying to do is figure out what different colors of blue I have. One sec. Yeah, you're only in Ohio. We can come find you. That's kind of 3 different shades there. They're subtle, but they're there. And sometimes that's what you kind of have to accept. And is this a 4th shade? It is. That's pretty good. So this is my order. I will set my order over here so that I do not forget it. BRB, everyone's driving to Ohio. I've got some water. Make sure you guys all also hydrate. Very important. So now, you see what I did with the orb? I intentionally did not color all the way outside, and I also kind of did a little swirly effect. That's on purpose. Because now, you kind of, like, have added your own shine to it just by not fully coloring it in. It's a hard technique to get right, but it's a fun one to practice, in my opinion. And if you have a white Posca paint pen, which I do have, you can always go back and add more. So, like, I could go back and add, like, a highlight to it. And I probably will use my Posca pen to go touch up some areas, but I'm not quite there yet. So, in my opinion, one of the easiest things to do is to do all of the darkest blue water parts first. Like the halo around her head, I think, is darker. There's some lines in here that are darker. You want to identify your darkest color first and kind of go from there, and then it's easier to work backwards. Oh, you do have paint pens. Very nice. I find them to be very useful. I have a white and a gold. I'm gonna invest in a silver here soon. You've got gold and silver, but Toasty got a bunch more. Oh, but now Toasty got a bunch more. My local Michael's has had a lot of marker sales lately, where it's like, buy two, get two free. And so that's a good way to kind of start building a stockpile. You don't have to go out and drop money on a very expensive set of markers. You can kind of build your collection over time. This 45 count, we found 50% off at Michael's. So my mom got me that for my birthday this year. Is my music done? My music is done. Alright, let's switch over to a YouTube playlist. Because I'm still kind of scared of putting on the Dave the Diver soundtrack, as catchy as Hot Pepper Tuna was. Oh. Thank you. Oh, never mind. Let me know how the audio level is, because YouTube is a different volume than Windows Media Player was. Seems good? Excellent. I think Catrium said she's got colored pencils. And I know Nat got supplies, but they are gonna be doing it with the VOD later. And I also sent some supplies outside of the US. I don't know if they made it in time. But I mean, even if they didn't, that's one of the reasons I wanted to record this. So that it can be done later. Also, if you see the queer note in our Discord, make sure you wish them a happy birthday. Hi, Biscuit! Did your supplies make it in time, or do I need to get better about when I mail things out? I will not beat myself up if they didn't get there in time, but I will learn from this. Unfortunately, did not make it. Alright, well now I know I need more than a week's time for overseas letters. You'll have to let me know that if you can, what day it does arrive. Because then I can try to plan around that. But that's why I'm streaming this. The VOD is gonna go up on YouTube. So if you are interested in participating along at a later date, you can. Oh, I gotta beat up a blooper, hold on. Get him. One bean, come on. Rigged. Out of curiosity, Biscuit, what kind of art supplies do you have? Do you have colored pencils? Do you have markers? What is your coloring of choice? Colored pencils. That's what Catrium's using. Now, of course, I have paint. I have acrylic paint, but that felt a little too messy to try to do on my desk here. You got your colors laid out. That's what I did. You lay out what you plan on using next before you put it away. I wouldn't want to do all these fine parts with paint. It was fun. It'll be neat to get all the sages done and then frame and put up in the office. I'm gonna post a picture in the Discord, but I have 3 of the 4 of them done with paint. Urbosa's the last one I need to do. It's going up in stream chat if anyone wants to see. What did Biscuit say? Biscuit says, I made business cards and stickers and made myself a t-shirt. Oh, that's amazing. That sounds like you had a very nice and productive day. All arriving August 1st? Nice. I have a couple more designs I want to get on my 4th wall that I just haven't yet. What I'm doing here is layering my marker. I'm doing like a line effect. 4th Wall, that is the website that I use for my merch. I don't make my merch myself, I just make the designs for it, and then 4th Wall will print those designs either on shirts, on mugs, on whatever, really. Now, my recommendation for those using markers who have access to Posca pens or other paint markers. You see these, like, fin parts here that are blue, but they kind of, like, gradient themselves out to yellow? I think you're gonna want to color them blue and then paint on top of them, because otherwise they're just gonna kind of blend into a green. I think crayon and colored pencil might do a little bit better at, like, a gradient. And then my recommendation would be to, like, do the yellow and then do the blue and then kind of just meet in the middle. It could be fun to do this kind of thing with pastels, come to think of it. And my other thought is that for the fins that are hanging off of her arms, you're probably going to want an even darker blue than I have selected here. That's kind of part of the fun. Sometimes you go along and then you're like, oh yeah, there is an even darker shade that I don't have anything for yet. And then you can either layer or you can hope that you actually physically own a darker marker or other artistic utensil. I actually think, though, that part of the fun of doing physical art like this is actually kind of being limited by what you have. In digital art, like, you can do anything, and sometimes all of those choices are almost overwhelming. But with doing it physically like this, now that I only have so many markers of a certain color, it changes the color palette a little bit. It helps you to own it, I think. Like, you get to own this version of it. Again, not that you own it enough to be trying to sell it. But I think most of us here are, we know that. Do you find yourself rotating your piece to work on it? Or is that just me? Rotating it constantly. Yup. Yep. Problem you're running into is smudging. Talked about it before, but I forgot. Gotta keep picking up your hand. Yeah, the carbon black is something that, like, it smudges a little bit. And I'm sure if you're using colored pencils that you might be getting smudging from that. I have kind of, like, changed my whole art technique to not have my hand down as much as possible. But that's just something that I have become, like, super aware of. Oh, I missed some red here. Takes me back to when I used to use pencils all the time because I'm a lefty, so I would smudge so much. My dad and my sister are both lefties. Adding some texture. Now you can see that there's a tiny bit of like white space left in there, and I leave that there. I see a line I missed. You finished retracing? Well done. There's something comfy about just getting to be creative. Getting to sit down, do a little bit of art. Enjoy it. I mean, I hear a lot about people who retire who, like, throw themselves into hobbies because it's just so much time that they didn't have before. Now, I know a handful of retired people, one of which being my mom, and I know that might not be true for everybody, but that's kind of the spirit that our Discord embodies, the idea of being able to reconnect with all of those things. Spend some time being creative, doing things you didn't have time for before. Cora is here! That happened to you when I got divorced. Well, plus COVID. Yeah, COVID was a very interesting time. Kind of hard to quantify because not everyone experienced the first year or so of COVID the same way. I was an essential worker the entire time, working in the pharmaceutical industry, so I got no time off, and I barely got any time working remotely. And the time that I did get to work remotely, I loved it. So much so that that was actually one of the reasons I left that job, was just because they were being so stubborn about letting people work remotely. They would come up with any and every excuse to say, no, we need you on site today. Even if you didn't have any work to do on site, they would still find a reason to ask you. Your grandma retired, and she's pretty much still working, which you knew would happen. Yeah, that happens to some people. I mean, I will be working in the sense that I would still be following my hobbies, and who knows if I will be an elderly streamer. I don't have that much foresight. I need to get the paper under this so that I do not ruin my lovely desk mat. Dis host says, I started a new job and COVID quarantine started a few weeks later, then I worked from home a month or two, then got furloughed, went back to work a few months and got laid off. Isn't it great? Yeah, I'm still kind of like having trouble putting together the fact that I've been essentially laid off at 2 jobs now. Once was laid off and the other time was contract ended early because they didn't have the work for me and wanted to save money, so basically the same thing. No luck on the job search front yet, but I mean, I'm trying not to complain too much because right now I'm getting to do a lot of the stuff I want to be doing. I get to be running a bunch of fun Discord events. I get to be streaming more. And I'm enjoying it. Another line I was missing. Yeah, I had heard about that a little bit, Disho. This week, their workplace announced buying a new company that's going to double employees and offices. And, your office is going to have to move because the other company has an office that's 5 minutes away. Feels like there's going to be some growing pains, for sure. You know what's funny is I used a color that is arguably pink, and she still looks like she could have been pinker. I'm glad that I changed up the coloring a little bit for some variety. Make sure you also take some periodic breaks to stretch. It's pretty common to hunch over to work on artwork, and for an extended period of time, that's not great. I'm gonna take a stretch break. Your neck is feeling it. Yeah, just... You can kind of like shake your head yes and no a little bit. Get your shoulders down away from your neck for a little bit. Raise your arms up. Curve and straighten your back. Just get the blood pumping a bit. What do you think of our first fake paint night? I would truly love if we were local and we could do like an actual paint night. But I thought that this was a pretty decent alternative. Thank you for the hydrate. I do have a nice tall glass of water. And yeah, eventually it might be nice to try to do some, like, artwork that we make, that we can all kind of take turns drawing. But until we feel a little bit more comfortable, the stained glass style just, it's a good learning process, in my opinion. You've got cranberry juice. I don't hate cranberry juice. But I feel like I usually only drink it when I'm not feeling well. I actually can't drink ginger ale anymore because I had it too much as a kid when I was feeling, like, upset stomach-y. And now I just can't break that association. That's you with 7-Up, that's the sick drink. I mean, like, sometimes you just have to have a sick drink, you know? Toasty had it a lot as a kid when they were sick, but now we're determined they are allergic to ginger, so we're like, yeah, that might have made things worse. Maybe it did. Like, ah yes, nothing like a little drink to soothe your tummy. I'm kind of interpreting things as best as I can here, because it's a little tough to see. And if you are using markers or colored pencils and you put away a color and you go to pull it out again, I'm gonna recommend that you just spot check it. Like, have a piece of scrap paper. Spot check it with where you know you used it before. Make sure you're using the same one. With markers, you might have to give it a little bit of time to dry to make sure the colors match, but it's very easy to grab a marker and say, oh yeah, this was definitely the color I was using earlier, and then you find out very quickly, no, it wasn't. I need to find my dark blue. I believe I have a dark blue fine tip. Yes, I do. And I want to check this color too. The power of using a piece of scrap paper cannot be understated when you are coloring. Oh, the Cheep Cheep is a tough enemy. You might not be able to slay it. I am not strong enough. Dang it. You can check your stats with exclamation mark stat. Or stats, I forget. I think it might be stats. Disso has nothing on their stat card. Gotta start somewhere. Nope, I think I do want the darkest blue. I was afraid it might be too much. Well, that's okay, Disso. You just gotta order some bean juice. What's the he blend? Yum. Yeah, it's just a little mini game you can play in chat whenever enemies pop up and you beat them up and stop them from stealing beans as food. You can get beans, and then you can use those beans to order some drinks. YouTube, don't do that. Yes, I'm still watching. So we decided to do this in lieu of one of our standard craft nights. Usually we just kind of open the Vibes channel and everyone kind of comes by and works on whatever it is they're working on. We've got some fiber artists who sometimes work on crocheting or spinning yarn. I think I'm just about ready for background, which again, gonna recommend doing some color swatches for. That first color might be a little too dark for me. That's even darker, I think. Same color, I think. Yep, those three are good for purple, darkest to lightest. And now in this case, I might go in and do the special colors. Because you can see in the stained glass stuff, there's like little bits of like red and blue. I think those are what I'm gonna go focus on first. Ooh, that was a good bean juice, Mom. And yeah, the background here is where you can really make this unique, make it yours. You don't have to do the exact colors that are there. Mom, you'll have to let me know if you want to color along next time. But I imagine this is also fun to watch. And I will also say, every now and then, if you find that your hand is kind of smudged, you can take a break and just go wash your hands and make sure you dry them really good before you return. If your hand has too much residue along the side, that can kind of help minimize that. Excuse me. I mean, that's kind of the whole thing about streaming, isn't it? Like, you are watching someone else do something that you could be doing if you wanted to. Video games, art, music. That's not to say any of the stuff that any streamer does is necessarily easy, but just that you could be doing it. And now you're doing it with me, which I think is also fun. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make the entire background behind Mifa one color. And then I will do the 2 other purples in the frame so that the frame is darker, but she stands out a little bit. Now I just have to ask myself, which color do I want? I might do it in the same color as the 4 background squares, just so that she shows up well. Because if it's too dark, I feel like you're gonna lose her. I was going to do a different color, but I don't like the fact that I don't have it in an ultra fine point. So I'd rather pick a color that I can get the detail amount I want. You know what's funny is that when you are painting, like with acrylic paints, they actually recommend doing the background first. Now, of course, that doesn't exactly match what we're doing here, because we put the line work down first. Whereas with an acrylic, you might just paint the entire background what you want, and then you could pencil sketch your line work on top of it. And now this is not what I did with my painting, as you may have seen over in the Discord, so I'm just kind of trying to do it differently this time. God, I have such a frog in my throat. Screw the rules. We're doing art. Haven't colored anything in ages. It's nice. Oh, Toasty's finished already. Nice. I'm probably going to get my black Sharpie to thicken up the outline from the carbon paper. So I'm trying a texture thing here. As you can see, by doing short line strokes in different directions, you can kind of just change up how the background looks a little bit. Toasty was fast? Well, we've been at this for about 2 hours. But Toasty was faster than I was. In my defense, though, my mom wanted a custom pin made. Which I didn't even get to do, because I was bad. Mostly, it's just that my desk is full of Sharpies right now. That's the thing about art, though, is I think the artist is the one who decides how long art takes. I could call this done right now. I don't want to, but I could. So you see what that did there? A little bit of texturization to cover up the big areas. You feel that, but with Copics, and then you will sort them just to mess them up again. Yeah, I have a very small amount of Copic markers. I will pull them out for you right now. There's a very small amount. Everything else is Sharpie. 2 gray. Some flesh tones. And then some more flesh tones / like a lighter yellow. And that's it. That's my Copics. If 120, I am a little bit jealous. But then again, I am here with just an absurd amount of Sharpies. Probably too many Sharpies. My yellows and oranges are in bags, and my neutral colors are in a separate bag. These are blacks and grays and browns. These are yellows. And oranges. We don't have Sharpies in Germany. Ah! Did not know that. Sharpies I have are a gift from my mom, a birthday gift, and a Christmas gift. There have been many opportunities for me to get more Sharpies. It's kind of funny. I've been trying to get Copic markers, like, on an as-needed basis, and the first thing I found I needed, because Sharpies didn't really have a good alternative, was a set of flesh tone. And then I wanted a bit more variety of gray. Ooh, 15 fine and 15 ultra fine tip that came in a coloring kit. I know. I think that's the main reason with Copic markers why I have not invested heavily in them, is because they are so expensive. So obviously I kind of just want to get the colors I know I will want and use. That's my plan anyway. You know, just buy a couple here and there, and then suddenly you have way too many. And that's why I've started making trading cards. So that I can justify having so many markers. Let's see. The original trading cards were shipped off in a giveaway. But here are some print recreations of them. We got some little Koroks. Ooh, 300 gel pens. Now that is an art medium I never got into. Yeah, those Korok trading cards are available for sale now. As postcard prints. I took my sweet time getting them in my shop. But there they are. Also, word from the wise. Don't keep multiple Sharpies uncapped at the same time and then just go grab one and start coloring with it. You can get 320. I'm assuming that is, like a kind of generic brand marker for 180, or like 22 Copics. Yeah, no. Copics, you're great, but I'm not made of money. It's a good brand of marker, I'm not gonna lie. It's just so expensive. Please, Copics, send me free Copics, and then I will talk nice about you and use you on stream. Now, is this necessary? Absolutely not. Doing line work like this is not a necessity. You can color it, and it'll be just fine. But I like what it does. I like the texture that it brings. So I'll do a lot of texturizing like this, or I will kind of do fake shading by just layering the marker. There's a lot of stuff that you can do with traditional. Digital does it easier, but traditional still does it. Getting some new gray tones next month. Yeah, I only have the 2, and I really want one that's lighter than the N4, but I didn't see one last time I was at my local art store. But, I mean, I could buy them online. I just try really hard not to give Amazon all my business. I know it's funny considering I'm streaming on Twitch, but I do not want an Amazon sponsorship. No thanks. He gets enough of our money. I also might need a new black Copic soon. I've been using it on canvas, which I know is a no-no. Well, it's not a no-no, it's just... it's gonna dry it quicker. Cloth canvas is particularly thirsty. Oops. Well, we'll use that then. Hopefully you guys like the quality of these postcards, because I just bought the first set of blank 5x7 postcards I could find. Oh, well done, Disso. Sorry if anyone else wanted that bomb, it's gone. That's how you get those beans. Are those all grays? Also, do I pronounce your name Aron? Aroneko? The second one sounds more right to me. Yes. Yeah, Aroneko. The second one. Oh, your first yes was to the grays, I see. I'll have to look some of those up, because I do want something that's lighter than the N4. The closest I got a really, like, I got the Pearl E14, but, like, that's a bit too peachy. And I could just use something that's a bit of a lighter gray. Really, this year is kind of when I started my art journey as a whole. I used to draw a lot as a kid, but it got away from me because I felt like I wasn't good at it. I don't know if it's a normal thing, growing up to start having that, oh, I'm not good at this phase. The cool gray's a real light. I will have to check that out. Last time I was just at my local art store and they had the Copic cabinet that's always locked up tight. So I don't really get to get a good look at them. The T ones are more like black. They're really dark. Okay. Oh, is it N for neutral? And then Y for yellow. E for earth. I didn't actually know the letters meant anything. Maybe they don't. Come on. I put my blue away and I'm taking a risk right now by not checking it on the color swatch. And I think it was the wrong one anyway. Oh well. It's not that much darker. C for cool, N for neutral, T for toner, W for warm. I have some Ys. Oh, that's the Artist Loft brand. It's the generic. That's why. I was like, I swear I have... Now, I do have Copics that are E. My 6, flesh-toned ones are E. That makes more sense, though. Well, I try to learn one new thing each day, and I have, in fact, learned something today. The first number of a Copic is the hue, the second the saturation, and the last is the brightness, and the letter is the color name. We're learning all sorts of stuff. I almost bought the Copic set that was for flesh-toned, but I didn't really like the selection they had in there, so I just opted to buy my own 6 so that I could have a real good variety. And they came in handy for the Korok trading card set so far. I don't draw many humanoids. I don't draw many people. I mostly draw little guys. There's one colored who The cap is darker, but the color is lighter. Oh, man. Yeah, my sister, when she does her acrylics, she actually paints a little dot on top of the cap so that you can kind of see this is what it really looks like when it is dry. Because otherwise, like, it's kind of hard to tell. And of course, with how expensive the Copic markers are, I don't blame art stores from having them locked up in cabinets. Because, like, you don't want someone, like, just drawing on the wall to see what color it is. You swear every cap is right? Wow. Well, that's good for me to know the next time I need to go buy one. That they're pretty accurate to the cap. Only that one is wrong? That's interesting. So Disso, you said Toasty was done. How are you doing? Catrium, how's yours turning out? Working on the background finally, very nice. The last thing I actually do is go back over and outline it so that it feels finished. You're almost ready for the background. You keep finding red that you missed. I was doing that too. Okay, this is a lurker and co-worker friendly stream. Co-worker. No, like a co-working friendly stream. Arrow Neko. You have an event in another Discord? Sounds good, Disso. I hope you guys have a good reunion. Take care. Thank you for being here. Also just drawing for 4 months. I started my art journey back in 2022, where I made it my New Year's resolution to just do a lot of art because I hadn't done art in years. And I'm actually really happy to be back into it. It's something I can tell that I missed. Level 4. Heck yeah. When I used to go to a babysitter, I would draw all the time. Like, I had so much paper. Just, like, way too much paper of just, oh, I drew this, oh, I drew that. And it was a mess. And we actually did a stream where we looked back at some of my old art. And objectively, not all of it is good. But something about my confidence just, like, it tanked when I hit high school, and so I stopped doing it for a while. I'm glad to finally be back into it. Like, for reals. Because, I mean, if you want to keep leveling up, you do have to keep doing the thing. You feel like I do with art, but making soap. Speaking of which, Biscuit is one of our Spotlight community members this month. Biscuit makes soap. actually made a good amount of soap that became bingo prizes for Pridecraft. And you can find Biscuit's shop in the link that just dropped in chat. Aeroneko says, I stopped at 12 years old because my art teacher always ripped apart my drawing, yelling at me, that's too childish. That's no fun. Now that I think about it though, I had a not great art teacher in high school as well. She just wanted us to draw and paint and sculpt shoes, and I hated drawing shoes. Genuinely hated it. Like, it was not fun. I will say, though, it seems way less fun to have a teacher pick you apart that badly. Like, come on, we all learn at our own pace, and I don't think anything's too childish. Look at me, I'm a piranha plant. I'm a piranha plant with a little beanlet in the corner. Like, yell at me for being childish, I dare you. But I do understand that, like, when you're growing up, that stuff hurts. It sticks with you. I'm glad to see that you've gotten back into it, though. Oh no, he was also like, only my art style is valid. Nope. You have lost all of my respect, teacher that I don't know. You said you were from Germany, right, Aeroneko? We actually have another Discord regular who is from Germany, and it's their birthday today. They wanted to participate, but I think I scheduled this on their birthday, so they were like, yeah, I probably won't be able to stop by. Those people can go kick rocks. Yeah, they can. They can go kick rocks. It's funny, like, I understand that teachers don't always know how to do what's best, but sometimes they get it so wrong. Is this not that much lighter? This does not look that much lighter. No, now that it's dry, I'm seeing it is not that much lighter. Well, I will do this then. Aeroneko says, I do character design or fan art, and one time I wrote an original character work 2 weeks in, wrote a story, just oh no, don't do that, art teachers, please. That's really not cool. I went back and forth with writing, too. Alright, that might be the shade I end up using for my other background here. Like, I feel like teachers of the arts specifically should be caring more about fostering creativity than they are, like, putting someone in a cookie cutter mold. Is, like, the thing you need most to do art is that sense of originality. Well, I am very glad to see that you're back and trying your hand at art again. It's always sad when the education system fails so greatly. I was almost a music teacher, and budget cuts here in the United States kind of got me turned off from being a music teacher. My sister is a music teacher, and as far as I can tell, she's enjoying it greatly, and loves what she does. Still doing anime and cartoon art and having fun. That is my entire style, is cartoon art. Hold on, let me pull something up. I'm gonna pull up my Clip Studio because I still have it open. This has kind of been my huge way of saying I am learning art. I'm doing a color wheel of Nintendo characters so that I can, like, really get into the cartoon style, and I'm having so much fun learning. Confidence at 120%. That's what I like to hear. So, as someone who, like, never learned anatomy and hated drawing hands and hated drawing arms and legs and feet, this is a challenge, but I am loving what I've done so far. We'll actually be doing the blue color wedge. Sheik from Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time was the character that everyone voted on, so he will be in the blue wedge. And honestly, you know, one of the things that kind of helped me a lot with getting more confident about art again was just knowing a lot of artists will kind of use Clip Studio Paint's feature where you can kind of like pose a 3D, like, you know, those little wooden mannequins that you can move their arms and legs and try to figure out their anatomy? Clip Studio Paint has a virtual one of those. And when I found out just how much, like, some of the artists I really look up to use it, I was like, oh, well, that's not tracing or cheating. Like, that's a thing that you should do. And so now, I know that's just a thing that you should do. Like, it doesn't matter if you don't know how to, like, no one knows how to draw something without looking at it or making a reference. So there is nothing at all wrong with using references. I used to think it was cheating. I don't know why. Maybe I just held myself up to ridiculously high expectations. And I'm glad I don't do that anymore, because now I get to just do art. Yeah, I like how the frame for the stained glass part is darker than the background. It does get really hard to, like, draw stuff just for you. A lot of times we draw things and we post them online because we want people to see it and we want people to like it, but it's okay if you draw something and it's just for you to enjoy. But it's funny, I find myself posting my artwork across, like, all of my streamer friends' Discords. Okay, hold on. My playlist is over. Let us move on to my other playlist. This is the Harvest Moon playlist. Oh, I'm sure it feels really good to have someone say that their art inspired. We are using someone else's art. The reference picture on the left side of the screen was done by Sarcastic Sketches on Tumblr. They did an entire series of all of the Breath of the Wild champions, and in a stained glass style, and they just look so good. So we are using this as inspiration so that we can kind of color it in and practice our art skills and learn. I, of course, won't be selling these as prints or anything because I did not design this. I'm just coloring it. One of these days, we'll do a draw along, like a draw this in my style, with a picture that I draw, but until then, we're excited to do, these sets. Thank you for the follow, Aeroneko Arts. This is the first Discord draw-along we've done, but I really like how it turned out. I can't wait to see everyone else's versions. So, Catrium, you were talking about smudging, right? Well, right now I'm kind of doing a fingertip thing. I'm holding it down with my non-dominant hand with, like, 2 fingers so that I don't smudge it. And that gives me just enough grip so that I can finish coloring without, again, smudging it. You're learning the fingertips thing. It's useful, huh? Alright, well that is mine almost done. I need to put away some of my markers because we're good at putting things away once we're done using them. So good at it. In fact, this good at it. I don't think I have enough ink left in my black Copic marker. Need to practice close and dynamic poses. Oh, same. That's actually one of the reasons why I started the color wheel challenge, was because I really wanted to challenge myself to do some poses, and I was trying to, like, make sure all of the characters I did had a pose that kind of fit inside the triangle. And I'm also learning in digital art that it's totally okay to draw a really crappy sketch layer of the pose and then go in and clean it up for the line art. Now this outline is going to go in and hide any areas where I have gaps, and that's why I do it last. And really, I think the outline is where the piece, the stained glass style, really starts to come together. I've never really followed through with an art meme before, so that's also been fun. A couple months ago, a lot of people were doing what they called artist MMO, where they were drawing an original character and kind of making, like, a Dungeons & Dragons character sheet for it. And I started mine and never finished it. Thanks, ADHD. But that's one thing that streaming has helped with, is accountability. Because now, oh, I started this on stream, people want to see the end of it. I guess I have to finish it. Now, if I weren't trying to do this, as, like, stained glass style, I have some Pigma pens that are really good for very fine outline work. I use those on my trading cards. But because this is stained glass style, you want that thicker outline. The style really depends on it. Alright, so you see here, oops. Right here, I just traced and kind of missed the mark a little bit. So I'm just gonna go over and make that line thicker. You can do that. It's not a mistake. You wanted that part of the line to be thicker. Hi, Gage! Welcome to our little art corner. I'm showcasing my markers, my absurd amount of markers. These are just the blues, greens, and purples. I don't have a problem. We're just kind of talking about art and our process. And we were actually even reflecting on some of our teachers that we've had through the years. I actually learned a lot from Gage, Lyat, and he does sketch day once a week. Finally, you get to catch an art stream, I know. We're doing a draw along in the Discord, so we had mailed out some supplies to anyone who wanted to participate, and there's gonna be a bunch of versions posted. 2 people with colored pencils, 2 people with markers. One person was not able to make it, so she plans on catching the VOD. Oh, of course. I mean, I am not going to lie. I have learned a lot about art from watching your streams. Mostly digital, but, like, I've also picked up on some techniques, some anatomy things. If you hear a lot of car noises outside, my town is having a car show today. Ugh. Yeah, I mean, like, there's that give and take, and there's also that, like, moment of being able to say, oh, well, I know a thing or two about this topic, so what kind of questions do you have about it? We're going back over and outlining the carbon black layer with Sharpie so that it's a little bit thicker. It lends well to the stained glass style. Now, I did do a version of this size with acrylics. And it was hard. I'm very new with acrylics, so it might not be that good, but I like it. So it's hanging on my wall now. Because I like it, and that's what matters. Hello, Blooper. One bean, one measly bean, come on. I deserve more than that. Now, I would use my black Copic for this, but it's actually getting kind of low on ink. I can just feel that it's not wetting as well as it usually does. And that's a consequence of using it on canvas. Now, I'm gonna use my finer pen here on the little heart cuffs. Because otherwise my Sharpie is just going to fill it in, and I don't want that. Is it just me, or does anyone else have trouble drawing a heart if it's not facing upward? And now it's up to you if you want to draw the tiny little elephant in the orb. Tiny little Varuta. The cool thing about the outlining step is that it's very similar to the original tracing step that we did. So you've done this before, and you were good at it. So if you think that black line I drew is a little thick, it is. I made a mistake up here, and so now I'm kind of trying to just thicken the line as I go to make it look like it's not a mistake. That's a lot of what Sharpie work is. It's like, no, I didn't make a mistake, you made a mistake. You're looking at it wrong. Now, if I really wanted to, I have my white Posca pen. I can try to smooth it out that way, but I like the approach of just going the other direction. Like, oops, This wasn't supposed to be like this. Let me just thicken it. Make it really intentional. Let me own it. Wait, that was Rune Factory. Why did it change out of my playlist? There's no way it finished the Harvest Moon. Whatever. Whatever. Back to Core Keeper. Catrium says, I've learned so much about markers today, and Catrium's not even using markers. So I'll take that as a win. Again, make sure you take a minute, stretch. Think you're done? Just need to outline. Awesome. I cannot wait to see the colored pencil experience. Now, Posca is usually what I do last because it takes longer to dry, being paint pens. But I do want to go over the frills, the very dark blue frills, and add some gold paint. Internet crashed. We'll be back online momentarily. It hasn't said. It says we're there we go. Now we're back online. See, this is why we have the VOD. Welcome back, everyone. Off to another concert. Sounds good. Enjoy the concert, Mom. And then vacation after that, right? Thank you, Gage. My internet died. May it rest in pieces. I'm gonna blame the car show. I have no reason to, but I'm gonna blame the car show. How dare they ruin my internet? Do any of you guys, like, purse your lips or stick your tongue out when you're doing art? I do. You can't see it right now, but I do. Do it when you're reading. Draw my eyebrows down like I'm mad. I draw my eyebrows like I'm sad when I'm singing. Even if I'm not singing a sad song. I can't make sense of it, though. Despite trying desperately not to do it, whenever I realize I'm doing it, you're gonna do it anyway. Oh yeah, her hand that is on top of the orb. And again, if you want to try to draw Divine Beast Va Ruta on the orb, as is in the original picture, by all means. I just for some reason didn't find it to be like a critical part of the picture. Or the series, for that matter, because it's not in any of the other ones. Using a thicker marker here. Wow, thanks, Stream Elements. You're the realist. Now, what you are best to do when you're using a thicker marker to try to do border stuff is stroke away from the main subject. That is your least likely way of breaking your heart and going a little too far, and then feeling like you made a mistake. Or when you're going between subject and subject, you just have to go really slow. And you see what I did there? You can see the purple. So you just go back and make it intentional. Not a mistake at all. Not a mistake if you own it. That's a lot of what physical art is about, is learning to own your mistakes. And I think that's why I picked a medium that doesn't let you undo mistakes. Because otherwise, that's all I'd be doing. I would just be erasing. I would be painting over. I would just keep going again and again and again. And sometimes you want to actually finish a piece, you know? That was my Posca pen. We're gonna do our best. Trying to just blend it a little bit. I am loving this. Loving this. How it's turning out. Of course, when you are using Posca pens, be very careful not to put too much pressure over areas that are not yet dry. Might be obvious to some, but it's a very easy mistake to make. That's our gold. It really is this little bit of detail work that, in my opinion, makes all the difference. If you need a narrower line than a Posca will permit, you can use a small brush to pick up the paint off the tip for smaller details. You can. I try to kind of do pointillism a little bit because I don't have a lot of brushes on hand, but you absolutely can. And I usually try to, like, double check that my marker has paint and is ready to be used and is primed, whatever you want to call it, on a piece of paper. think I'm ready to call that done, honestly. Some people will do a lot more work with the white Copics than I will. But I love it. Here we have it. Discord, draw along, baby. We'll be doing another one either in August or September. I'm not sure when exactly. Because we actually have a pretty good lineup of events. We have another movie night coming up. We're watching the Dungeons and Dragons movie. And, yeah, I think Urbosa was in second place. I know people really like Urbosa, so this might be what we do next time. But I would really like to investigate whether or not we can make something that's actually, like, original artwork by the CGRH to use. Because, I mean, like, it's absolutely fine to be doing this for practice purposes and for art and for entertainment. There's nothing wrong with it. But it would just be cool, I think, to be able to say, oh, well, we designed this. I actually love how the gold turned out. I think it's great. Love doing a little bit of mixed media. This was a lot of fun. We are at 3 hours. Don't let the current stream time fool you. And I'm actually really looking forward to seeing everyone else's stuff. You're nearly done! I can't wait to see it! And then, of course, the cool thing about this is it's on the back of a postcard. So, like, I will send y'all the postcard, and you get to make art on it. You don't have to send it back to me or anything. It's just cool. And it saves me from having to cut cardstock in 5x7s, because we just have it then. Anyway, I'm going to grab some raid messages. I think we lost some people when the stream reset, but you know what? I am not that bothered. We're gonna go say hi to Tall Samurai, who's doing an Extra Life charity stream, currently playing League of Legends. I'm gonna have to raid and run because I need to run out to the store. But go ahead and copy and paste a raid message. It's Tall Samurai with an underscore. Yep. We'll go say hi to Tall, friend of Nat again. Thank you guys so much for being here. For those of you who participated, I'm really looking forward to seeing what you guys did. And I think that's a lot of the fun of this. We will do another one in a month or two, and you are welcome. If you did not get art supplies for this one, you are welcome to DM me your address or use the sign-up form, and we'll get you in next time. Thanks a lot, y'all. I'm gonna have my stream schedule out probably tomorrow, I'm thinking. So until then, keep going and growing, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye!